So there are 3 key elements you need to include in conversations with women to initiate flirting. And if you include these elements successfully, you'll be able to flirt with any woman you want. And I'm going to break it down for you in this video because most men get this wrong and could greatly benefit from learning how to work these 3 elements into conversations with attractive women. And I'm also going to share examples and use cases for everything we cover because I want this video to be something you can implement in your game right away. And for those of you watching, I want you to know that I started out like so many other guys, constantly getting rejected, low self-esteem, riddled by approach anxiety. I was short, I was super skinny, I had crooked teeth, terrible game, terrible style, and really no sense of how to create attraction with women. And then I spent the better part of a decade committing myself to mastering dating and relationships so that I could find the woman I thought I deserved. So if you're watching this, hoping to up your game and get better results in dating, you have come to the right place. Everything I'm about to share in this video has been highly effective for me and other men I've coached, so I won't be offended if you think my riz sucks because I know it doesn't. And that, gentlemen, is called independent confidence, something we'll cover in another video. For now, let's get back to the flirting technique. There are 3 key elements to flirting, and the first is playful teasing. And listen, playful teasing is the easiest of the 3 to implement in your game because you can use the same handful of trusted lines over and over. And I'll show you some examples in a minute so you can see what I mean. But real quick, when I say lines, I'm not talking about pickup lines or opening lines. I'm talking about the playful jabs you take at women to break up the conversation. Playful teasing is how you challenge women in a fun way. This is what separates the nice guys and the fun guys. You want to use playful teasing to steer the conversation from boring and logical to fun and flirtatious. And when executed correctly, playful teasing can give you that edginess that women are looking for. But it's delicate because high quality women don't want to date assholes. So you can't come across as rude, but they also don't want to date someone with the personality of a wet mop. So let's cover some examples and use cases of playful teasing. Use case 1 and the easiest to implement in your game are backhanded compliments. For example, wow, you're actually really smart. You're cute when you try hard. I like your outfit. I'm impressed you pulled it off. Now, what do all of these lines have in common? They deliver a compliment, but from a place of doubt, as if you're surprised that this woman actually possesses these desirable qualities and characteristics. And this is supposed to be all in good fun. So a playful tone and expression upon delivery are crucial, but that's what these backhanded compliments do, is they position you as the assessor. When you say, wow, you're actually really smart, it implies that you didn't think she was going to be smart when you met her. And I want to pause really quick and make sure you're paying attention. Ready? There is research that shows women find men more attractive when they believe that the man's opinion of them is improving over the course of the interaction. It's called the gain-loss theory. I'll link to the study in the description below, but that's important in understanding why backhanded compliments work. If you say, wow, you're actually really smart, it implies that your initial impression was that the woman was unintelligent, but that your opinion has now improved, which the gain-loss theory tells us increases attraction. So that's playful teasing use case 1. And real quick, if you find this content valuable, guys, please like and subscribe. It's a brand new channel and it helps a lot. All right, playful teasing use case 2 is escalation exaggeration. This is when you sarcastically imply that the woman is the one advancing the interaction romantically and that it's moving too fast for you. Some examples are, I think this is moving a little fast. I didn't realize we were at that stage of the relationship yet. And then you follow those up with something that assumes a future interaction like, shouldn't I buy you a drink first? Shouldn't we go on a date first? So the entire thing would sound like, whoa, I didn't realize we were at that stage of the relationship yet. Shouldn't I buy you a drink first? Now, once again, escalation exaggeration challenges the woman in a playful way. It positions you as the assessor, and it implies that you're attracted to her without saying it directly. And what this is doing is creating tension. And the more tension that builds, the more the woman will become attracted to you. Now, the third use case for playful teasing is sarcastic defensiveness. And this is one of my favorite forms of teasing because it can bail you out when a woman starts to challenge you. For example, let's pretend you attempt to playfully tease her, but the delivery was off and it wasn't well received. And now she's starting to get a little sassy with you. If that happens, you can say something sarcastic like, hey, don't hit me, or whoa, why are you yelling at me? And as with all playful teasing, the tone and facial expression upon delivery are crucial. You want to have a shit-eating grin or smile, even a wink if the vibe is right, so that it's clear to the woman that this is all in good fun. Now, sarcastic defensiveness is the best way to check a woman when she's challenging you. Nobody wants to feel like they're being socially aggressive, especially women. So when you use one of these lines, it usually gets a smile and allows you to take back control of the conversation. All right, that covers flirting element number 1, playful teasing. Now let's move into element number 2, which is charm. Now, charm is severely underrated in modern dating. I don't see a lot of people talking about charm, but I found charm to be one of the deadliest tools in my proverbial flirting toolbox. Charm is when you use subtle and indirect ways to communicate attraction. It's the sincere and high status way of letting a woman know that you're into her. And a quick disclaimer, sometimes using charm can come off as a little cheesy, but cheesy is good. It's being corny that's not okay. And here's the difference. Cheesy comes off as genuine and disarming, especially when you carry more of like an alpha or masculine demeanor. Charm through cheesiness is a way of showcasing your soft side without being a beta bitch. But corniness comes across as forced and awkward and premeditated, which women hate. But in general, charm makes men come across as sincere and heartfelt and will make any woman smile. And the reason charm is particularly effective on beautiful women is because they know they're beautiful. Men tell them all the time. So the ability to communicate your appreciation for her looks in a charming way sets you apart. And an easy example of being charming is you have this way of lighting up the room. You have like this magnetic energy about you. I don't know what it is. And when you say something like that, especially in tandem with playful teasing, it shows women you're multi-dimensional, that you have a dynamic personality. Another example of charm is if you're mid-conversation, you stop and say, wow, and she'll go, wow, what? And you'll say, it's just that smile might be the best thing I've seen all week. And she'll laugh because the compliment is slightly cheesy, but it's powerful because it's received as sincere, as something that came to you in the moment versus you acting like another drooling dog that couldn't think of anything better to say other than, you're really beautiful. So that's charm. Now, the third element of flirting is wit. And wit is possibly the best way for men to communicate intelligence and a sense of humor at the same time. And some people think wit is just something you have or you don't, but wittiness can be learned with practice. Wittiness comes from retraining your brain to start anticipating where the conversation is going and then delivering small punchlines that accelerate the interaction. And the more you use witty remarks and conversation, the more second nature it becomes. Wit is also good because it signals to women that you're a mental equal and a mental challenge. High value and high quality women find intelligence attractive, and the ability to use wit in conversation is a strong signal of social intelligence. But being clever and witty in conversation requires you to intentionally lead the conversation in a way that sets you up. And the best way to demonstrate wit is with one of my favorite conversation sequences. And before I share it with you, I want you to know that it does come across a little cheesy, but I'm telling you, man, I've used different versions of this line probably hundreds of times in conversations, and it is highly effective. And the reason it works is because 99.9% of guys don't have the balls to say shit like this, especially to beautiful women. So here's a quick example of using charm and wit to create some back and forth in conversation. You could say, wow, you have such a unique look. What's your background? Which is a simple, charming question, right? And then she'll say, oh, thanks, I'm Irish and German. And then you'll say, oh, that makes sense. Now pause. Why is that line important? Because it creates tension. Because she's going to be like, why the hell does it make sense that I'm Irish and German? And then she'll ask you, what do you mean? And then here comes your witty little punchline. And you could say, well, everyone knows Irish German girls have great personalities. Now listen, if she has any sense of humor at all, she's going to laugh, especially if you deliver it with a sarcastic tone and a smile. And I want to pause here again in case some of you watching have a weak sense of humor. The reason this is witty is because to her, it will seem like you just came up with that joke in the moment, even though it's a quick one-liner you've used before. And the reason it's funny is because you built tension by saying, that makes sense. And then you relieve the tension with an over-the-top statement that's obviously not true, but it's flattering nonetheless. So there it is, the 3 elements of flirting. And once you've established flirting and banter, you want to move into escalation, which is something I cover in my Dating Fundamentals course. It's linked in the description below. Now, I promise I'll always keep it real with you guys. So I'm going to tell you exactly what'll happen to most of you the first time you try to implement this stuff in your game. Your nerves are going to be high, you're going to approach a girl, and then your brain is going to freeze. You're going to forget everything you were supposed to do. The interaction will probably suck, and you'll eject with your tail tucked between your legs, And that is 100% normal and okay. Because it is intimidating approaching attractive women when you're getting started. It's just like a roller coaster. It's scary the first time you feel the drop, but if you ride the same roller coaster 10 times in a day, you're barely going to feel anything by the 10th time you ride it. And talking to women is kind of the same way. So please, don't be that guy that tries this once, locks up, and then comes back to me and says, this shit doesn't work. I'll never remember all this. Yada, yada, yada. All that translates to is I'm scared and I don't want to put in the work to retrain myself with women. Instead, set the expectation that it takes time to figure this stuff out, man. And if you don't want to spend as much time, then take an online dating course or hire a coach, even if it's not me. As long as you seriously invest in your game and your appearance, you will see much better results much faster. All right, guys, that's a wrap. Drop a comment if you have questions, and please like and subscribe to support my new channel. It means a lot. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.